This is honestly the best thing they could have done. Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members, Poker fans, and others who are on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, here today with another Viewer Friday. Today's request comes from Ash X Dawn Fan Life. I don't know. That's a lot of words. Anyways, so first off, I want to say we got a new intro. I want to know what you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comments. Elaborate. Do you like it? Do you not? I mean, I could change it. This is like a test, really. Realistically speaking, I actually would not mind adding some things in here, but I just want to hear your opinions on it. So, he wants me to talk about, right? So he wants me to talk about, or she, I don't know a lot. Like, this is a new person, so I don't know whether you're a guy or a girl, okay? But they want me to talk about my thoughts on Ash's loss in the league. Now, if that's a spoiler for you guys, I apologize, but it's big news at this point. Like, it was such a dramatic conclusion that so many people took to Twitter and Facebook and everywhere and started bitching about it. A lot of people started talking shit about Pokemon anime, saying how dare they have Ash lose, or this was the one time Ash should have won, and blah, 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 blah. I just got sick and tired of it. A lot of people saying they were dropping the show, and I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it, whatever. I don't freaking care. I don't know. I guess first off, I just want to say, I really don't care. I actually am glad he lost, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've been saying this whole time. XY, like the Gen 6 anime, has been kind of like a rough patch. Like this is, I've always had this problem where every time I would think about Pokemon, I go back to the Gen 4 saga. All the time. I'm being serious. Like before X and Y even started. Like this was like even I kind of like at the beginning of X and Y. I guess you could also put that. Like one of the things that always bugged me is the fact that Gen 4 existed. Gen 4 anime existed, and it had so many problems, and I had such a big issue with it. And I've stated this on multiple times. I actually dropped Pokemon for a clean couple months during the Diamond Pro Saga. Like, I just didn't watch it. Like, I would be on, I would just skip it, or I would intentionally not watch TV because I knew that Pokemon was on, and I just didn't bother, and I just did something else. Like, I went out of my way to not watch Pokemon for a long time because I didn't like that saga. And then like over the course of X and Y and the Gen 6 anime, I've started to realize, Gen 4 was awful, and that will never like leave my mind. Gen 4 is still awful, but the Gen 6 anime just takes the cake, and honestly the worst saga this entire time. And one thing that I know that maybe some of you guys are going to criticize me for, I'm going to explain the reasoning for it, why I never dropped X and Y. And I'm going to tell you, it's because of you guys. You guys watch the reviews. You guys want to hear my thoughts. Sometimes you get mad at my thoughts, but I don't freaking care because you guys asked for the reviews. If I wasn't making reviews for the anime, or if people just flat out told me to stop, I would not be watching this saga. I would have stopped. I'm going to tell you right now. I would have stopped watching the X and Y anime around the time that Serena won her second key, or after Ash beat Valerie. That's around the time I started just not giving a crap about this show anymore. I'm being serious. I have not, like, there's obviously been some episodes here and there that I can, flat out say I enjoyed, after that point. But for the most part, I wouldn't have even known about those shows if I had stopped right there. Like I always say, Bonnie is the one thing that I can still safely say has been done well in this saga. I don't know how they're going to handle her in the Team Flare stuff, right? I don't know how that's going to work. But up to this point, she's been done relatively well, which is interesting because she's not even a main character. She's supposed to be a side character. She's basically supposed to be the Max of Gen 6. Yet for some reason, they made her more important than the rest of the cast, which makes absolutely no sense. But, at least she was done great. I will give them that. They took a character that was not supposed to be important and made her important. So, you know, it made her overshadow the female protagonist, but whatever. So I don't really know anything about specifics, right, of what happened. I know he battled Alon, I get that, but that's a topic for when the league comes into the dub version. I have some big issues with him being in the league in general. But I don't know how the battle went. I know that people were telling me, oh, this one fought this and this one beat that. That doesn't really tell me anything. Just because I know who beat who. I don't know how the exchanges worked. Because remember, a lot of my big problems with this whole saga is the fact that Pokemon just get knocked out through bullshit or just random crap. This goes all the time. But one of my big reasons for being happy that he lost is that this is probably his worst developed team. If not the worst, one of the worst developed teams in the entire history of Pokemon. Now on paper, right? This is on paper. His team is really, really good, barring Pikachu. But because of the anime, it's Ash's Pikachu, which is usually OP by the time the league comes around. After the resets start happening in Gen 4, like Pikachu's usually be able to do his business, right? But here's the thing. When you actually look at his team, the only one that got any sort of character development, granted undeserved and random and just basically free random development, was Greninja. And that's because of the whole Greninja form. But that's the problem. The Greninja form took over the rest of the cast. Hawlucha was underdeveloped, and in fact is the, I guess, how do I put this? He is the Torterra Gen 5 Scraggy, I guess. Scraggy, I don't know if you want to consider Scraggy. It's basically the Pokemon that you look at it and you're like, that's the one that's not worth a damn. It had potential at the beginning of the saga, then they made it out to be this badass thing, all powerful, really like hardened warrior type of thing. But he's just been left in the dust. Like, yeah, he has some, he's not as bad as Torterra because he does have some wins under his belt. But for the most part, it's pretty much pointless. The only time we got a new move was, I believe, during the Valerie battle, and it was like a random ass, just, hey, look, I know X's are now, and I'm going to break a barrier that's supposed to be an area of effect, an actual field move, and I'm just, because fuck logic, right? Fuck logic. But other than that, Hawlucha's been pretty stagnant this entire time. Talonflame hasn't really had any sort of growth since Noibat was born, and before that, it wasn't anything to write home about because he didn't really do anything. Like, Talonflame also feels he's the birther region, which usually are relegated to be like the scouts of the group. They're just supposed to go out and search for things. But most of the time, these Pokemon have some sort of element. Staraptor, I still say hands down, Staraptor is the best bird he's ever had. But Unfezant was just trash. That in general, Unfezant is trash. Don't ever bother with that Pokemon. Seriously, Pidgeot was cool, but it was a Pidgeotto for the most part. And then Noctowl was just there. Swallow was done good. I don't know what it was. It just said fuck Talonflame. This is the most OP. Well, not, I shouldn't say OP, but it's the most viable of all the birds of the regions up to this point. I mean, Staraptor is pretty good, and you can technically use it in competitive. But for the most part, Talonflame sits in the OU tier and has been in the OU tier since the game came out. That man just runs through teams. And I just said, fuck him. And Noivern, oh my god. Noibat never battled, right? Because, he's a baby. And then, you got Noivern, and it never did anything. And from what I understand, I don't know what moves it has in the league. But right now, he's a physical special. He's a special attacker with physical moves. The only special move it has is Boom Burst, and that's just because it's the signature move of that particular, evolutionary line. Granted, I mean, the X-Fly. Loudred is part of it, but that line has it now too. But for the most part, it was supposed to be a Noivern exclusive move, at least when X and Y came out. When Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out, then they got the moves. But that's besides the point. Noivern also just, It's just not a thing, right? He wasn't really fleshed out anywhere. Like, off the top of my head, he battled twice, which was against Alon and against Shota. Like I said, up to this point, I don't know what happens before the league. Okay, all I know is that up to this point in the dub, he's only battled twice with this Noivern. And then you got Gudra, which just comes out of complete left field. I will still sit here. This week is the episode where Gudra shows up again. And I've been saying this, right? I've been saying this for a while. I said it in last week's review. They are not going to hint or give any indication that Gudra is going to show up in the league. Which means when the league happens, Gudra is going to show up for no damn reason. And that right there is not okay. Gudra was a failed experiment, right? They had a rush. They literally rushed through the evolutionary line. They just train roll, just right through that. Just rushed the whole fucking thing, leaving it very underdeveloped back then. He gets released, right, into the wild, and then just randomly shows up again. What kind of character development is that? Oh yeah, I'm going to capture you, I'm going to evolve you all the way to your final stage in the shortest amount of time possible with the least amount of character development, give you away, just release you back, and then never see you again until another random episode where I'm gonna find you again. I'm gonna see you. We're gonna do something together. You're gonna stay there, being a released Pokemon. And when I need you in the league, because I need to have 6 Pokemon, I'm just gonna randomly show up. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? It doesn't. That's my point. This is the most just flat awful. This is just awful. Straight up, just awful. He had 5 Pokemon the entire time. He never had a full party of 6. What the fuck is this? This has never happened before. He didn't have a full party. Actually, that's a lie. Because in Kanto, well, see, the thing about Kanto though is he had other Pokemon in the lab, and he was able to switch them around. This time, he technically only caught Froakie right in the beginning. Then he got Fletchling, and then he had Hawlucha, Gudra, which went away, and then Noibat, which he had. So he caught 5 Pokemon this entire time, but he never had a full party of 6 until the league. And it's because the one Pokemon he released to the wild suddenly came back. I don't know. This is just... So, to me, looking at this crappy-ass team, I just can't sit here and say, yeah, Ash totally deserved to win that. Like, totally. Yeah, Ash is going to destroy everybody. No. In fact, I would have been more disappointed if he had won. There was no reason. Honestly, this is the worst saga for him to win the league. Ever. And I mean ever. There's been plenty of other times where this would have been a lot better done. I will actually still sit here and say that Gen 4, he got cheated. Like, that's when he did get cheated. Even though I hate that saga, right, I still consider it one of the worst. He actually got cheated out of the league. He lost to a dude with a Darkrai and a Latios. They specifically made Tobias to be an unwinnable opponent. They just made a random character and said, hey, here, boom. What the fuck? Like, I still consider that was more of an insult than this. Alon was at least a character that was shown. Granted, I still don't believe he should have been in the league in the first place because they made him out to be a character that doesn't care about badges or gym battles or none of that crap. But hey, we need to just shove characters in the league because we didn't do anything with anybody else. Like, even Trevor was shoved in there. He wasn't a battler. Tierno's the only one of that entire group that I could sit here and say, see, that one is a gym battler. And then you have Shota. You could have just filled in everybody else. You could have had the last battle be Shota versus Ash. There was no reason to bring Alon into the whole thing, especially since you were going to have him in the Team Flare stuff. Like, what, realistically speaking, what was the point of having Alon in the league? Except for Ash to lose to him. Because that's literally the only thing I see. Other than that, there is no purpose for Alon to be there. They could have had filler characters in there to just do random battles with, have Ash make it all the way to the finals against Shota, have an amazing battle of, the student teacher, whatever the fuck you want to say, and either Shota comes out a winner or Ash does. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Gonna stop this recording right now. Let me know what you guys thought about the intro. I know literally everybody else is pissed that Ash lost. I've yet to hear somebody actually be glad that Ash lost. Except for, my favorite YouTuber. He actually was ecstatic about it. And a couple other people here and there, but for the most part, everybody's pissed. So I can't even ask you guys how you feel about it, because I know the answer is going to be, oh, they cheated him. No, they fucking didn't. They cheated him in Sinnoh. I'll give you that one, but not this one. He didn't even deserve to win this one. So, yeah. That's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been SoresanCrockxen. If you have any other Pure Friday quests, leave them in the comments down below. Tweet at me. Facebook, message me. Let me know some way, shape, or form that you want a video to do, you want me to do, and I'm going to write it in my queue. So, yeah. That's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in future videos.